Which NFL team will ultimately end up trading with the Chicago Bears for that #1 overall pick? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears season-long and now off-season-long Bears coverage on the channel. You don't want to miss out. Stay tuned and locked into the channel by hitting the subscribe button and turn the bell notification on. And follow me on my social media platforms. All right, so let's talk about this, people. We have established the Bears are going to trade this #1 overall pick. I believe so. There's been a lot of chatter, right, about a bunch of different things. But ultimately, I believe the Bears know that it is much too valuable for them to not trade this pick because they have, I believe, their franchise quarterback on the roster, Justin Fields. I know there's a lot of talk. But just for the purposes of this conversation, we are going with the notion that there is no funny business and the Bears keep Justin Fields as their franchise quarterback and trade this pick. Well, what team is trading up for this pick? And I got to tell you, thinking long and hard about this, my final prediction before I reveal the team is that I believe Ryan Poles doesn't want to trade down too much. What I mean by that is I don't think Ryan Poles will trade down to the bottom 5 of the top 10. I think he wants to stay in the top 5 or around there. So we've got other teams, right, in the later stages of the draft in terms of the bottom 5 or past that, like the Jets, like the Raiders, that need quarterbacks. But if you slide that far down, you miss out on a chance to get really talented players. We know, like, the top 5, top 10 of the NFL draft is where all of the talent usually is. And so Ryan Poles is going to want to stay there. So with that being said, that combined with desperation, which team is the most desperate? I'm going to go ahead and say the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts have the #4 overall pick. All right. They are desperate for a quarterback, folks. I saw the press conference by their general manager, Chris Ballard. Oh my goodness. He looked like he was about to cry. He looked like a man that was broken and just flat out done with the quarterback situation in Indy, or lack thereof, because they don't have a quarterback, right? They keep doing these one-year options to try to put a Band-Aid on it, right? They had Phillip Rivers, then they went to Carson Wentz, and they went to Matt Ryan, and it just never seems to work. They keep putting a Band-Aid on this problem when they should be trying to actively fix it and get a long-term solution. And so I think Chris Ballard is desperate. I think he's fed up. And I think he's the guy that's going to make the move to move up to #1 to trade with the Chicago Bears to draft the quarterback of the future for the Colts, either Bryce Young, probably Bryce Young, for them. So I think it's the Colts. And also we've got the head coach of the Bears with Matt Eberflus, who's previously was the defensive coordinator with the Colts. So he's got that relationship going with him. Poles got some relationship with Chris Ballard. So there's that connect there. And so I just feel like, look, you got that. And also Texans at #2. Colts might be thinking, I don't want the Texans to get their quarterback of the future. They're division rivals. So that's even more incentive for them to trade up to #1 and grab their guy before the Texans get their guy. Right? Let's say they want Bryce Young and the Texans, could snag him at #2, depending on what happens at #1. You get my point. So, they do not want the Texans to get their quarterback of the future. Both teams need quarterbacks, the Texans and the Colts. And so I think it is the Colts for all the reasons outlined. You still get to stay in the top 5 for Ryan Poles. You'll get a boatload of picks. The Colts are desperate. They need a quarterback. Their GM is fed up. You've got the relationships there, and they don't want the Texans to get their quarterback of the future. So for all those reasons, I'm going to go ahead and make my final prediction that the Indianapolis Colts are the team that we trade down for, that they trade up with for us to get the #1 overall pick. Let me know your team. Do you agree, disagree with the Colts? Or is there another team that you guys have? As always, thanks for watching.